love you all. Welcome all you lovers to the Florida Love Show. This is your love hour right before happy hour, sponsored by Florida Love. Join us each week as we spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love. Now, back to spreading love.
This is for you, Kenny. It's the Florida Love Show, paying love forward is the theme. It's the Florida Love Show, hosted by Kenny and his dream. Every special guest brings their love to the set, and the interview flies, it all comes alive like a duet. He wears many hearts, so he has a very special side. In the Brooklyn Cafe, it's a big love buffet. With roses galore, and you are adored. Come take a bouquet. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Shine your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Love this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Give the gift of love and pay it forward and go. Give a kiss, give a hug. It's the Florida Love Show. Love you, Kenny.
Love you, Sharon. Welcome all you lovers to the Florida Love Show on Father's Day. So it is Dad Love, Florida Love Show today. We are going to love everybody's dads today for Father's Day, which is going to be Sunday. So I hope you're all out there buying gifts upon gifts upon gifts to spoil your dads and love your dads. So I love you, love you, love you. So just a little quick story of, I was at a client this morning, and I was loving the receptionist, saying, I love you, and that was Antoinette Love, and she says, I love you, love you, love you. And then she says to me, I want to give you this button. And this button says, no hate. So love is no hate. Love is no judgment, no gossip. Oh my God, Dean, love you, love you, love you. He wrote, Sharon is the best. Love you, Dean. Please keep your comments coming. Oh my God, Catherine, I love you, I miss you, I love you. So great, please. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Love you. Please keep your comments coming. So she gave me this button. Said, love you, love you. Said, I want you to have this button for the show. So no hate, no judgment, no gossip, no resentment, no criticism. Love is I love you. I say I love you to everybody. So I've been going around all day saying I love you to everybody. Actually, I was on my way to Publix and there were firemen going in. I said, I love you. Thank you for your service. They said, I love you too. It's really simple. Just say I love you. So we can spread love all over the world and love all 7 billion human beings. So today, we're going to be loving everybody's father. We're going to be loving Sharon's father. Yes, who I call Ruby Love. He's so amazing. And then we're going to love Tina's father, Arthur. And we're going to love Joan's father, Gene. And we are just going to have the best show. So I'm so excited. So this is my father. And I just want to wish him the happiest Father's Day ever in heaven. I know, I miss you too, Catherine. I love you, love you, love you. I'm so happy you're here. You made my second. I love you, love you, love you. Oh, I love you, Dean. Love you, Jadarian. Love you, love you. Please keep the comments coming. So this is my dad, Benny Love. Oh, Allison, love your father in heaven. Yes, I love my father in heaven. Yes. So my dad was born in 1916. He was actually 20 years older than my mom when they got married. He was 38 and she was 18 when they got married. He had me when he was 50. So now, 1916, he'd be about 100 and I guess 105 years old. So I love you, Dad, and he's an angel on my shoulder. He's my best friend. Oh, Alvin. I love Alvin. Love you, Alvin. That's Allison's dad, Alvin. So we're loving dads today. As you can see, I brought my balloons and I got my roses and everything. So my dad is so special, and I just want to share a quick story about my dad. So I had originally gone to University of Michigan to play football, and my dad had a heart attack, and I had to come home and run his printing business. Now, I was never going to be in printing. I was going to work on Wall Street in finance, and because of my dad, I came and ran his printing company. I came home, and I ended up spending the rest of my life with my dad. And just a quick story, my dad was doing an estimate for me, and he was living in New Jersey, and I used to call him, and I'd keep him busy working, doing estimates. He's doing an estimate for me, and in the morning, and the estimate always used to come right away. Well, this time it didn't, and I was like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And my mom was always home with him, so I couldn't understand, and I kept calling, no answer. So finally, my mom calls me up screaming that my dad went to sleep and passed. So life is short, and I could pass on this show right now. So since life is short, you never know who can pass. So go out and love everyone. Wow. So I love you, Dad. Love you, love you, love you. Mwah. Yes.
When you die in your sleep like that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a mitzvah, and it's one of those things that very special people get to have to go that way. So just know that your father was an angel, that God blessed him that day. Mm-hmm.
And so, again, life is short. So go out and love all your dads. Love them, love them, love them. So I want to play the news right now of how Florida Love came about, Roses for Change. And so please play the news.
Welcome back. Now at 5:30, who couldn't use a little love right now?
One Pompano Beach businessman is making it his mission to spread love all around by giving out the flower of love to random strangers. CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo has this heartwarming story.
There's an old song with lyrics that say what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Ken Lerman is living that moment in a movement he created called Roses for Change.
We love you.
The idea for Roses for Change came about after the death of George Floyd and the turmoil that followed.
I felt their pain. And for me, I don't see color. I mean, I see us all as human beings. And we all can love each other.
I mean, love is simple.
Ken, who owns his own printing business for 35 years, appropriately named the Happy Printer, decided to spring into action, purchasing dozens of roses he could hand out.
The first thing I did was I went to Whole Foods, and I also went to Publix, and I gave out roses to all the African Americans in the store. And I said, I love you. And they said I love you back. And they said, God bless you. And they said, we need love more now than ever before.
Ken was so moved by the response, he posted pictures on Facebook, receiving 600 likes. Suddenly, Roses for Change on Facebook was born. His followers wanted to join him, buying roses too, and it's now become a movement, spreading love to people of all races. We recently caught up with them in Boca Raton.
I just want to say I love you. Have a wonderful day.
Michelle Bellman, who had never met Ken in person, wanted in on the love train and came out on this day to volunteer.
His message is just of love, and love yourself, and love one another. And he speaks to my soul, and he speaks to me because I love to spread love as well.
Some were skeptical, wondering if there's a catch to these random acts of kindness. But for those who understood it, it meant the world.
I think it's just amazing. This is really, really nice. You're really showing your love. You're taking your time to do this. Just amazing. And the red flowers, forget it. Just bringing brightness to this world. It's much needed. Thank you so much.
Seriously, so sweet.
Can you imagine what a world it would be like if we just all gave roses to each other instead of what's actually going on? Like, to me, that's a way to spread a message. Spread the message of love.
Lucky me, I received my rose. For more information on Roses for Change when they meet every Friday, go on to our website at cbsmiami.com. I'm Lisa Petrillo, Smellin' Sweet, CBS 4 News.
Love you, Lisa Petrillo. So, again, we're going to be loving dads on the show today. So I was talking before about how life is short, how my dad passed just in his sleep. And so go out and love everybody. Go out and love your dads. All of you. I love you, love you, love you. So I want to play a video about how life is short and not take anybody for granted, especially your dads. Look, it's Happy Father's Day, Happy Dad's Day. Go out and love your dad. Go out and love your dad. So please play the video about how life is short.
Hey.
You alright?
I wanted to go for brunch on Saturday, so I was thinking we could book something. There's this really nice restaurant.
Yeah.
I thought we could go.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. 20 minutes. Pen?
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. See you later, yeah?
Bye.
Okay. Yeah,
Love
okay.
you.
Be there.
Mr. Clark? Is that Mr. Daniel Clark?
Yeah.
This is Dr. Cohen from Kensington and Chelsea Hospital.
Yeah.
Calling to inform you that this morning your wife was involved in a serious road incident. She passed away en route to the hospital, and I regret to say there was absolutely nothing more we could have done.
I hope this never happens to anyone, but the harsh truth is that it does. Often we're so engrossed in our work that we forget to value, appreciate, and recognize those that we're actually working for. We get so wrapped up in our own lives that we forget the people that make up our life. I know people who regret the last words they said, and others who never really got to share how they genuinely feel. Whatever is taken for granted will eventually be taken away. That's when we end up missing the most the person that we least appreciated. Because we never think the last time will be the last time. We think we have more, but we don't. Focus on those that you really love.
Focus on those you really love. So, dads, focus on your dad this weekend. Love your dad. Again, while your dad is still here. Again, I lost my dad in 1 second. I miss my dad every second. Yes, Catherine, always show love to your loved ones. Life is short, so enjoy with the people you love. Love you, Catherine. Yes, so true, so true. So at Florida Love, we're a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit, and we have different groups on Facebook to spread love. We have Love Will Keep Us Together, which has almost 4,000 people, and we just love each other all day long. We say, I love you, love you, love you. Spread love. We also have Florida Love Dating and Networking to meet the man or woman of your dreams, or just to spread love about what you're doing in your life, to share about that and how you're spreading love. We also have Love Circle, which is about just spreading love and getting together in person. We get together in person and we just love each other. We have Roses for Change, where we give out roses and we say, I love you. I had a Day of Love a few weeks ago, sponsored by Publix, where I gave out roses at Victory City Church to all the parishioners. So again, that's Roses for Change. And then we have Love Songs. So Love Songs started out with one person, and now it has over 36,000 people from all over the world, spreading love and spreading love songs. And love is freedom. So when I say I love it, everybody, I'm free. It's freedom. I just love everybody. And love songs, I see people just spreading love from all over the world. And it doesn't matter what language it is. I love you as I love you. Love is love. It doesn't matter where in the world. And everybody wants to love and be loved. It's the ultimate happiness. So every week I play a song from Love Songs. So this week I'm going to play a song, a father and a daughter singing together. And when I saw this, there's two things about it. One, the way the father looks at his daughter, he's so proud of her. I mean, it's so moving that he just loves her so much. And then the fact that it's the Phantom of the Opera, All I Ask of You. I mean, I was in tears when I saw it, one of my favorite songs from Phantom of the Opera. So please play All I Can Ask of You.
No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here, nothing will harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you.
Say you love me every waking moment. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Say you need me with you now and always. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask of you.
Let me be your shelter. Let me be your light. You're safe. No one will find you. Your fears are far behind you.
All I want is freedom, a world with no more night, and you always beside me, to hold me and to hide me.
Then say you share with me one love, one lifetime. Let me lead you from your solitude. Say beside you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. That's all I ask of you.
Share with me one love, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow you. Share each day with me, each night, each morning. Say you love me.
You know I do love me. That's all I ask of you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Love me, that's all I ask of you.
Wow. One of my favorite songs from Phantom of the Opera. Love me, all I ask of you. Wow, so beautiful. So I want to introduce my first guest who is so special to me. And it's Sharon's dad. Now, Sha and I have spent, who knows how many shows, over 60, 70 shows, over a year now. And I have never met her dad. Yes, Catherine, what a beautiful voice, yes. And her dad, Ruben, or Ruby, I call him Ruben or Ruby Love. I love you very, 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 very much.
Thank you.
You're so special, Ruby. And I said to him today, I said, the fact that you produced Sharon, who is so special to me, and so beautiful and so loving and so amazing, that's who he is. That's who Ruby is. That's who her dad is. So I'm just so honored to have him here today. I'm so honored to have you here today, Ruby.
Thank you.
And he's just such love. He's just pure love. Love you, love you, love you.
Love you, love you, love you.
Yeah, yeah. So, Ruby, what do you love about your daughter, Sharon?
First, she is my firstborn, and I'm very proud of her. She is a great singer, great daughter. That's it.
Yeah,
She loves me, I love her.
yeah. And Sha, what do you love about your dad?
He's amazing. My mom and people will tell you there are no stars left in the sky because my father has brought them all down for all of us. And I'm the lucky one because I got to be first and make him a dad. And he is the most generous, kind, giving. My kids call him the giver, you know. They call him Saba, which is grandpa, but they call him the giver because he's the giver. The minute he sees something, he sees a need, he fills it. I mean, it's just who he is. Amazing. We're so lucky.
Yeah. So, Ruby, do you get that? Like, that's who you are for Sharon.
Yes. She is amazing, too.
Yeah, the giver. And also, you just have a new grandson, don't you?
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter, yes.
What's her name?
Gal.
Gal Aviv. Mazal Tov, Tomer, your first Father's Day, just in time for Father's Day, and Leanne, the proud new parents. My youngest brother, there's 14 years between us. So my kids are 23 and 19, and my baby is 16, and he's having his first.
Wow.
So we welcome Miss Gal, baby Gal.
Yeah, so you're such love, Ruby. How many kids do you have and how many grandkids do you have?
I have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. 3 are married. So I have 5, already now 6 grandchildren, 2 girls and 2 boys, and 4 boys. The first one was Sharon's baby. He's now 22, right?
Almost 3 next month.
Almost 23.
Ori.
And the last one is over 2 days. The one that came just 2 days ago.
2 days old.
Yeah. So when you met your wife, who you've married forever, would you ever have thought that you would have produced such an amazing family?
I never had this kind of vision.
They just celebrated 51 years Monday.
Wow.
Was their
Mazel
51
tov.
anniversary.
Wow, happy 51st anniversary.
Yes.
So how did you meet?
We met in the Israeli army. We were both soldiers. We fell in love. There was a war then, 1967. We were in the same base. We stayed there for about 10 months together. And 3 years later, we got married. And then Sharon came. And the rest, you know.
Wow. So what's your dream Father's Day?
I wish everyone health and long life. I think this is most important. All the rest will come after. That's my wish.
So your wish is everyone health and long life.
Yes. You know, quality life.
Health, long life, quality life.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And everybody should be happy that what God gave him is here, with a great present. You know, we don't know what's going to be up there. So we want to stay here as long as we can.
So God is love and for everybody to be happy.
Yes, and I need to see my grandchildren, you know, grow up, you know, and get married and bring grandchildren to grandchildren. That's my dream.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I love you so much, and I'm really so honored
I love
to have
you
you
too.
on the show. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And Sharon prepared a special song for you today to love her dad.
Yeah, so this is one of my dad's favorite songs. And whenever he's at my house, I have a big grand piano in my living room, and it's on the way out. And he does not leave the house without hearing the song, and that has been a tradition for so many years. So I'm so excited to sing this for you, Abba. This is Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, from Evita. And this one is especially for the love of my life, my first love, my daddy.
That I still need your love after all.
how come that's your favorite song?
I saw the show in New York. It was many years ago, and it's really affected me. It's just so powerful that I fell in love with it. Love, love, love.
Yes.
That's
Love,
it.
love,
What
love.
the world
And
needs
since
now.
then, you know, my daughter, when she sings it, it's a great thing for me. You know, great pleasure.
So,
And
so before you leave the house, you sing your dad, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina from Evita.
That's right. There's a few other favorites, but this one, ever since I learned it and he heard me sing it the first time, that's his favorite.
So Shao, what's it like to have your dad on the show right now?
It's the best thing ever. It really is. Because I will never forget this Father Day, and we have it on video, and it's such a beautiful memory. And my father and my mom have been watching the show from home. And what's it like, Abba, to be here and to see the studio and to see Kenny live? And how does it, differ from when you see it on Facebook or anywhere else on YouTube?
you see, I never been on stage ever, but my daughters every time. So I want to I want to feel that standing and and talking to a million of people. It's amazing. So you really did a great job here. I'm very proud of you and her, and I love you. I love you all.
And we love you so much. And ever since I was a little girl, in all the birthday cards and all the Father's Day cards, I always write, and it's true every time, so I write it all the time, that if a soul could choose a mom and dad in heaven, the line in front of your door, Abba and Ima, would be around the world and back again. And that's how lucky I feel. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I want to thank you, Ruby Love. I love you, love you, love you
Thank
for
you.
being on the Florida Love Show today. And it's the best thing ever, Shah.
Yeah, and Mazal Tov again on the new granddaughter Gal. And I just want to take the opportunity to also wish my husband Happy Father's Day for our beautiful 3 wonderful children that I wouldn't have without you, Yaakov. So Happy Father's Day to my husband, to my dad, to my brother who's now a dad, and anybody else that is out there watching. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day for everyone.
So happy Father's Day to all dads. So I'm going to bring on my next guest, who I love so much. She shared with me about her dad, Arthur, who I love so much. And when I made the slideshow of Arthur and her whole family, I was in tears. It's so moving. I mean, he's amazing, her dad. And Tina is just like her dad in so many ways. So I want to introduce Tina right now. Tina, please come to the mic. And hi, Tina. Welcome to the Florida Love Show.
Am I here? Right? Okay. Hello. How are you, Kenny? Thank you for inviting me.
Great. So can we lower the mic, please, for Tina, please?
How's that?
It's much better.
Okay.
I can see your face. So actually, can we lower it a little more? There we go. So Tina, please speak loud.
Okay.
And love your dad. So what do you love so much about your dad, Arthur?
Well, my dad, Arthur, is very, very special. And literally, all he always cared about was his family. Family was first. Mitchell and I, my brother and I, always were first. It didn't matter what else was happening in his life, or even my mom at that point. The kids, for him, was his life. And his grandkids now are his life. So family, family, family. And no matter the arguments that he and I had together, which were many, because we butted heads quite a lot, Still, the fact of the matter is, he loves me, I know he's proud of me, and he is amazing, and he's always been there. No matter through thick or thin, I know that he's there, always.
So Gabby just wrote in.
Oh, my niece.
Yeah.
Hey, Gab.
Gabby, love you, love you, love you. She wrote in. Your brother wrote in. Mitchell.
Hey, Mitch.
Love you, love you. Dale wrote in.
Oh,
love
hey.
You, love you.
Oh, my God.
Dean wrote in. Love you, love you.
Oh,
Joel,
this is
love
so
you and
great.
support you. Yep.
This is so great. Thank you. Glad to
Yep.
be here.
And Nadia
Oh,
Wasif wrote in.
great.
Love you, love you.
Thank you. Love you. I love you all, guys. I'm so happy that you're all in my life. You know, I'm going to start crying, of course.
Yeah, so Tina, you have such a huge heart. That's why you're going to start crying. You
I
get
do
that
that.
from your dad, don't you?
I don't know. He doesn't show that he cries, but he's always there. And quite frankly, this is a special day because he literally just got released from the hospital yesterday. And he's sitting and waiting in the car, going into a doctor's appointment right now with my brother. So, Dad, love you. So happy that you're out of the hospital and you're feeling good.
Wow. So, amazing, Tina. You know, your dad's out of the hospital.
Yes.
And he could have passed.
Well, thank God. We expect him to be around. He's been a fighter his whole life. He's had several cancers, I mean, one after the other, and he fights to the end, and he always comes through, which is really amazing. And I think that's where I get it from myself. He's been an entrepreneur, which gave me the strength to open my own businesses as well. And he is a fighter. And no matter what it is, and however down you are, we get ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, and we move forward.
Yeah.
And that's what he really has inspired me.
Yeah. So, Tina, Shan prepared a song for you and your dad, to love you and your dad on the piano. And it's a very special song.
It is.
Hey, Tina.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you.
So, Jerusalem of Gold is one of the most beautiful songs ever written about Jerusalem. And it happens to be a song about that my father happens to be from Jerusalem. You know, that's 25 years of generations in Jerusalem. And Maestro, will you do the next one? So I'd like to sing it. צלול כיין וריח אורני נישא ברוח הארבעים עם כל פעמוני ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. The olive trees that stand in silence upon the hills of time to hear the voices of the city as bells of evening chime, the shofar sounding from the temple to call the world to prayer. The shepherd pauses in the valley and peace is everywhere. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת desert, 1,000 suns will glow. We shall be going to the Jordan by way of Jericho. My simple voice shall not acclaim thee, to weak the words I choose. Jerusalem, if I forget thee, may my right hand its cunning lose. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לכל שירייך אני
So Tina, I love you so much. So there's so much love coming in right now. Jared wrote in.
My nephew.
How much he loves you. Yeah. Natasha wrote in how much she loves you. Dale, Gabby, Mitchell,
I'm very grateful.
Nadia, Dean, how much they love you.
I love them too. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, and they all thank your dad for having you.
Dad, did you hear that? I think he's on the phone with my brother probably.
Yeah, they all thank your dad for having you.
Oh.
Because without your dad, you wouldn't be here.
This is true.
And we're so
Yeah.
happy to love on him.
Yeah, we're so happy to love on
And
him.
I'm so glad he chose that song. It's one of my favorite songs to sing. I'm going to sing it tonight in everybody's honor for Father's Day at Temple Beit Shirah, my service. So that'll be a second time for Yerushalayim, Jerusalem of Gold. And my father being from Yerushalayim, it's love spreads. That's how love spreads.
Yeah, and so everybody was writing in what a beautiful song and how much they love you, Tina.
Oh.
They love you so much. Yeah, so Dale just wrote, love, love, love coming your way, Tina.
Thank you, sweetie. These are really good friends and family.
Yeah, Nadia just wrote, I love you, Tina.
Okay.
She has
I'm
an
not gonna be able
overwhelmed
to
love.
I'm not going to be able to finish the show if we keep doing this.
Well, then this is the perfect segue to show the slideshow of your beautiful dad, Arthur. To
And the
let
family.
Yeah, and family.
And family and my dad. And okay, great. Let's see it. I hope, Dad, I hope that you're not in the doctor's office right now and you're watching this.
Great, so please play the beautiful slideshow of Tina's dad, Arthur.
Thank you.
Love you, love you, love you. And that last picture of your dad.
Oh, that was with my niece when she was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is so happy.
He better be.
Yeah. And your dad, you said, he loves his family so much.
Oh, he lives for them. He lives for them. That's really it. That's what makes his life complete.
Yeah, so he lives for his family. Yeah. And he loves you so much, Tina. Your dad loves you so much. So tell me what you love about your dad.
Well, my dad, whoops.
Speak into the mic, sorry.
My dad was always, he worked 24/7 to really be a great provider for my brother and myself. Literally, he'd be home at midnight. He was an entrepreneur. I think that's where I have my entrepreneurial spirit from. So he would buy taxis and limousines and work around the clock so we could have the best of everything that was needed, especially education. He also, how he really truly inspired me is that I remember as I was about 6 or 7 taking piano lessons that I was forced to take, which I wasn't happy about at that time, of course. I used to play and he used to sing. And literally everyone always had a good time. And he was a singer, and his whole side of his family were singers. They wrote, they cut a lot of albums, his aunts and his uncles. And a fun fact is, his father was in vaudeville with George Burns. So I think I have the musical ear from him and the love of the arts from him. And it kind of is incorporated in everything that I do today. So he's just always there for me, and that's how he inspired me, especially to create Hugs and Smiles Children's Foundation, which is my foundation that helps children in need through free music, art, and dance programs.
Yeah, so through your dad loving music, art, and dance, you started Hugs and Smiles.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration. If I didn't have him singing and dancing all the time and forcing me to play, and so did my mom as well, I don't think that I would have done it this way. But the arts heal the hearts. So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah. So Sharon prepared a song for you and your dad. Both.
Our favorites.
Your favorites, that's right.
I played that song. He sang that song when I was 6.
Really?
Yes.
So this is especially for your dad. What's his name?
Arthur.
Arthur.
Abraham.
Abraham. This is a song for you, from your daughter Tina through me, because she loves you so much, and she feels that you love this song. And I've never sung this song, so Shechianu, which is a prayer that we say the first time we've done something, and I learned it especially for you and Tina, who I adore.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I can chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and I did it my way. I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did it all. And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows, and I did it my
So Tina, I want to thank you for being on the Florida Love Show today. I love you, love you, love you, and I love your dad, Arthur. So what would you like to say to your dad before you go?
Dad, I love you. I know that we've had some battles, as I had mentioned before, because I think that every parent and child have those. But I know that you love me. Just stay strong. We need you around. You can't go anywhere. We all need you. So stay here. Stay here. Be strong. And keep going. Because you're like the Energizer Bunny, like me. You keep on getting through everything. So we need you around. Love you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ken.
Love you, Tina. Love you, Arthur. Mwah. So I want to bring on my second guest right now, who, when I saw her on the first show, when she was on the first Florida Love Show, she reminded me of Tina, so it's no accident. And then when I saw their dad's pictures, I was like, their dads look alike. So I want to introduce Joan, who, oh, I love you, Dale. I love you, Dale. I love you. So Dale thanked me for featuring these lovely ladies today. So Joan, welcome to the Florida Love Show. I love you, love you, love you.
Thank you so much for giving me the honor to be able to honor my father on this auspicious day, Father's Day. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, so we're going to love Jean today. And so tell me about your love for your dad. What do you love about your dad so much?
How much time do I have?
Well, just what do you love about your dad so much?
My father was also not unlike Tina's father and Sharon's father, very special. He was my inspiration. He really was, perhaps created the foundation for me to become the woman I am today. And I have stories that I can spend hours sharing with you. My father, also not unlike Tina's father, put his love for his children and his grandchildren first. I was the apple of his eye until my granddaughter, his first granddaughter, my daughter Pamela, was born. Then I had to hand the gavel over to her, and she became the apple of his eye. And he lived his life for his grandchildren and for his children. I don't know where to begin. I was born about 1 month and 25 days after World War II began, and I was only 2 years old when Pearl Harbor was attacked. So I grew up in the Bronx until I was around 5 years old, just before my first grade. Then we moved down to Miami Beach. I have so many stories to share with you, so you're just going to have to ask me what they are or help me get through an interview, and I'll be happy to share the best of my dad. And also, you know, he was my mentor, he was my teacher, he was my role model, and he could be the biggest pain in the butt you can ever imagine. But through it all, not unlike Tina's father, we had a bond. And I think the reason that we had this bond is my father was a musician. He was sort of like a dreamer to be a musician, a frustrated musician. And we were poor. We were not very poor, but we were poor, and we couldn't afford a piano. My father played the accordion. I think you might have some pictures of him on the video that I sent to you. And he couldn't fulfill his dreams because he had to take care of a family. So he imposed, and I use the word imposed, his unfulfilled dreams on me. And when I was a little girl and we lived in the Bronx, I had an upstairs girlfriend. Her name was Elaine, and she had a bridal doll. And for me, or to me, that was the most beautiful doll that I have ever seen, and all I wanted was that doll. Well, I'm going to show it to you later, but I wanted to give you the story first.
No, right now.
Okay, so just wait till I tell the story.
Okay.
So I wanted that doll. I cried about that doll. I dreamt about the doll. That doll had beautiful golden curls cascading down her shoulders. She had blonde hair, eyelashes that flittered, and her eyes that blinked. And she wore this beautiful lace and satin gown that bellowed out with a train behind her, a chapel train. And all I could think about was that doll. I wanted that doll. I only had one doll. It was a deity doll. You put some water in the mouth, and out came water from her behind, and she peed. That was the only thing I could say about my doll, my only doll. So I thought about that doll. We moved to South Florida, to Miami Beach, when I was not yet 6 years old. And we went back a couple years later when I was going to be 8 years old to the Bronx to see Elaine and her family. I can't tell you the excitement I had for days and weeks knowing I was going to see that doll again. And I got there, and she was very possessive about the doll because she was worried that I might do some harm to her. So she let me play with it maybe for a few moments, then she took it back. Well, it was my 8th birthday, and my father announced that we're going to go to Macy's tomorrow. I have a big surprise waiting for you there. I can still feel the beat of my heart like a drum right now as I'm telling you and sharing the story with you, because I was so excited. I thought, this was it. I'm going to be 8 years old. This is my birthday present. I'm going to get the bridal doll. We took this train into Penn Station, got off at 34th Street, went across the street to Macy's. I went through the revolving doors. I couldn't even catch my breath. I was breathless. And there they were. All the dolls were lined up on the wall, on the showcase. Blondes, brunettes, redheads, all with the same dress, with the lace and the satin bellowing out and the beautiful chapel train. And I just was so excited. My hand slipped through my father's, and I ran. And there it is. There they are, Daddy. There they are. He grabbed my hand, and he dragged me to the back of the store to the elevator and took me up to the 8th floor. He says, I'm going to get you something that you're going to get much more use out of, that has much more value than a doll. So I got a chartreuse green accordion, 80 bass accordion. I thought I died. I thought that's what it must be like to die, because I felt like I was crushed to death by my father's choice. And I finally recognized that I had to just capitulate to the accordion. And that was the beginning of everything that I am today. So in a strange way, everything that I hated became a a talent. I became a virtuoso accordionist, and probably because of what I had to do since I was a little girl, I started taking the accordion lessons when I was 9 years old or 8 years old when I got back from Matthews back to Miami Beach. And my father would drag that accordion from our apartment to the hotel that he worked in, to downtown Miami, every Thursday. And I took a bus. I was only, I don't know, maybe 11 years old or 10 years old. I was even younger, maybe. In those days, it was different. It was another world. You could get a kid could get on a bus and nothing could happen. And I would go over to Walgreens and I would have my favorite sandwich, a hot roast beef sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy. And my father would schlep that accordion about 12 or 13 or 14 blocks. He would go from one hand to the other hand, back and forth. I was about 10 paces behind him, and I could see his shoulder going this way, and then when you put the accordion here, it would go that way. And we would finally get to my teacher, who always smelled like he had alcohol in his breath. But anyway, despite all of my anger and my resistance and the fights, I became an accomplished musician. And I started entertaining people when I was 11 years old. I used to go to Miami Beach to the Edison Hotel on Collins Avenue and play. And then I was 13 years old. I was on the Bahama cruise line, Bahama Star, going over to Nassau. Today they would probably consider that really unorthodox to put a 13-year-old on. I did have a chaperone, so it wasn't that bad. But when I was 16 years old, I had club dates. When I would go into these bars, my father would be sitting there and sort of like inconspicuously in the back, watching me like a hawk, like a hen. And then he'd have a drunk come over to me and I'm play Melancholy Baby. And fortunately, I knew Melancholy Baby because I had rehearsed it. I had the fake book with me. During intermission, I would run into the bathroom and I would sit in the toilet stall and just look up Melancholy Baby, and I would play it for 2 minutes and I come out and I play it, and he would put a $20 bill down my strapless dress. My father was so excited, he was so proud, because I made in 4 hours what he made in a week. But today they would consider that probably child abuse because I was only 16 years old, but it was different in the 50s. Things like that weren't even spoken about. Anyway, so the long story, I said, how much time do I have, Ken? So stop me, because I can go on with my father for hours. So
what I want to ask you is did your dad play an instrument?
My father was a frustrated accordionist, and he could play. And then as he got older, at the age of 60, he took up the organ. And by 65, he became a virtuoso. There was nothing that he couldn't play. And I'm thinking about when he died. He died in 1997, passed away, and he would be 113 years old today because he was 89 when he passed. And he had been playing April Showers, practicing, and when I went back to the apartment, his apartment, it was the organ was there because, well, anyway, he played it beautifully, and on the stand was April Showers. And I sat down. I had never played it. I fooled around with it because you can transpose from the accordion like a piano to the organ. And I sat down and I played that song that I had never even practiced, as if I had played it all my life, and I could hear my father saying, "You see, I love the song, and now you're playing it for me." So it was a beautiful relationship we had, and with all the trials and tribulations that I went through, unlike what Tina expressed about her father, we had a love-hate relationship. In the beginning, it was mostly hate because he wouldn't let me have the doll. But let me tell you the story about the doll real quick. I did, but when I was 80 years old last year, thank you, one of my daughters, Erica, found the original. The only thing is her eyes they don't blink, but it looked exactly like this in my memory, and she presented it to me as a birthday present on my 80th birthday. So I just wanted to share that with you, and it sits on my dresser, and I look at it reminiscing about all the days behind. And you're right, Ken, life is short, and we have to live each day like it's our last, because one day it will be. And I'm reminded of T.S. Eliot. I think it was Prukhoff, I'm not sure, could have been the Four Quartets, where he said, never do we cease in our exploration. And at the end of all our exploring is to arrive at the place we first began, only know it for the first time. So all those years of crankiness and having little temper tantrums and being angry, I just have to thank my father, and I would love to be able to have him here as you have your father and you have your father, and tell him how grateful I am for the legacy that he gave me, that he left for me. Even the fact that I drink hot water and lemon every morning, because that's one of the things he said he did. And I took that on. And his platitudes. Oh, I used to hate listening to his platitudes. If you lay down with dogs, you're going to get up with fleas. Make hay when the sun shines. Don't lock the barn door after the horses escape. You can't steal second base with 1 foot on first. I mean, I can go on with 101 platitudes. And the funniest thing is that I say them now when I'm doing work with my clients in therapy, because it was so true. So my father left a legacy not just for me, but he also left it for his grandchildren. I guess you know, I had 5 children, a full house, queens on top. And I have their father here with me. He drove me here today so I could participate in this show. So I'd like to take a moment to have him come up so I can introduce Paul. Thank you. So on Father's Day, I get the special honor of wishing you a very happy Father's Day and thanking you for the 5 beautiful children that you gave us.
Love you, love you, love you. and never say those words unless you mean them.
Yeah.
And
yes.
It is true. And you should always know who you are and where you came from. And I teach that to my children, my grandchildren, and my students. I also teach them one other thing. The hardest thing in the world to do is to say no. And Joan's father, my father-in-law, who worked for me, was very good at saying no. But in a nice way, he meant the best for his family.
Thank you.
And I loved him very much.
Beautiful. So I love you, Paul.
Thank you.
Love you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Joan, I want to show the slideshow of your dad so everybody gets enough.
I just want to say one
Sure.
more sentence. Dad, my father gave me life. He gave me life, and he gave me a life, a great life. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Beautiful.
I love you.
I love you so much, Joan. So please play Joan's beautiful Dad Jeans slideshow. Dad prepared a song after she saw the slideshow to love you and your dad.
It happens to be Paul's favorite song, too.
Wow.
She saw it come up and she's like, that's Paul's favorite song. I can't believe you're singing it. So this is for you too. Happy
Wow.
Father's Day.
Wow. So Paul, why don't you come up?
Here we
Your
go.
favorite song, so Sharon can sing to both of you.
I'll come on this side.
Yeah, sure.
scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember? We simply choose to forget. So it's the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember the way we were, the way we
Love you. Oh, love you, Joan. Love you, Paul. Love you, Shad. That was so beautiful. Love you, Ruben. Love you, Tina. Love you, Arthur. Love. Yes. Yes. Love you all. So I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Love, hugs, and kisses. So go out this weekend and love your dad. Love your dad, love your dad, love your dad while he's still here. Love your dad. Life is short. So I love you all. Thank you for watching. And who could you give a rose to?
You've been listening to the Florida Love Show, where we've been spreading love in the Florida community. For more information, please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995 or ken@florida-love.com. or on our website, florida-love.com. See you next week, 3 p.m. Friday for the Friday Love Hour. Keep spreading love in your life and have a loving week. Love you all.